and Jonesy know what it's all about. From burnouts and doubts to boundaries that stick. We're right here with you through thick and thick. Do what you want because you're grown. You don't need to hustle all on your own. With that voice in your ear when it all goes whack. Take a deep breath, we got your back.
Got it.
Local badass Redbox franchise owner.
It's a triple J thread.
All right,
Jonesy,
let's
Jess,
start.
and Jess.
All right. All right. Well, I have to start with my line.
That's it.
Well, one is always me asking Dan if we're recording, and he always says we're not recording. So we're starting another episode, a riveting episode of Minding Our Business. We have our guest today, Jess, and she is a franchise owner of Redbox, and I will let you kind of tell a little bit about yourself. I know you and Dan know each other already, but I don't know anything about
We don't
you.
actually.
No.
You don't?
We emailed a couple
We're
times.
about to.
Yeah.
You guys never met?
Mm-mm.
Oh, wow.
Not in person.
Interesting. This
Yeah.
is, okay, well,
I mean, maybe at a chamber.
in that
I think
case,
maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah.
in that case, none of us know you, so let us know who you are.
Happy to share.
Yes.
Yeah, so my name is Jess Beischer. I own Redbox Plus Dumpsters. We do dumpsters and portable toilets. I also just started Velvet Fold, which is a laundry pickup and delivery service. I live in Yardley. I've got 4 kids.
4.
Yeah, between the
it's too
ages
many.
of 3 and 9. I'm a super freaking determined person, but I consider myself fairly calm under pressure. But I'm a big risk taker. My husband is not. He has kept his job throughout the whole process, which is
Even
good
with
stability
Redbox,
for
like,
us.
so it was you and your husband that went in together to do the franchise, or were you the driving force of
Yeah,
doing
I
it?
mean, technically we went in financially together, but not much. No, he kept his job. Redbox is it's a super capital intensive business, which is I didn't know what I didn't know at the time,
Yeah.
right? So, I convinced him, let's get into Redbox. It's about $500,000 we need loans for. And within a year, I was like, all right, we need another $1 million. It just kept going, So I'm very thankful that we made the decision together that he would keep the stability with the income coming in. So, yeah.
And then what was to the dumpsters and like Redbox, like is
Yeah.
there like a background of like construction or something, and like you
Yeah.
saw like, hey, my family worked and they never had bathrooms.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah. So I do have a background in construction. My husband does as well. So I
Okay.
worked, I got my engineering degree and worked in construction for several years. So, and then I started having kids. And then it's like, I need to work for myself when I have children because
Yeah.
I need flexibility in my life. The company I was with, I couldn't even bring a laptop home. So it was like there was such limited flexibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I gotta do something else. So I started looking, and at that time my kids were 0, 1, and 2 years old. And
Oh, wow.
so yeah, for me I'm like,
Just one
what
every
can
year.
like, what can we do? And I started looking at franchises for that reason, it's a little bit of a safer route, than going off completely on yourself.
It's proven.
Yeah.
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 It's already got market validation.
Yeah.
Let me tie the marketing back into this, if I shall. Everybody says saturation's a bad thing. Not everybody. A lot of people say saturation's a bad thing. I say nay. Saturation proves validation.
There you go.
You need to have 3 things in order to be successful. You need to have something to sell, somebody to sell it to, and conversions. And if you're in that position where you're entrepreneurial, but you don't have the thing to sell, well, that's what a franchise is for. Because you have an audience, you have the ability to sell, the ability to deliver, but you just need something to fit into that framework. Franchises, yeah.
Yeah.
Continue.
It's also a really there's also a built-in exit strategy for a lot of franchise owners. You have a whole market out there looking to just get into the franchise. Other franchisees will buy your franchise. So when you think of it from an exit strategy, there's that as well. My exit strategy is a lot more limited with being that I'm such a capital intensive business. And I just keep growing it. So it just gets to be, it's harder to find a buyer for eventually down the road. But that's down the road. I'm not there yet.
One of my clients is a business broker, so
yeah, I'm not there yet. I'm hoping my 3 boys will, grow up.
Yeah.
So how big's the territory now?
Yeah, so we service all the way from Yardley, all the way over to Exton.
Oh, wow.
That's the whole canal, right?
Yeah, the canal.
Not the canal.
What?
Exton's
Oh, I was thinking
outside.
Easton.
Yeah.
My fault. Yeah, the other way.
Yeah,
The river.
but we do
Yeah.
go up to Doylestown as well, and so, but yeah, so I got into dumpsters because every little girl dreams of owning dumpsters and
Yes.
portable toilets. Like,
Weddings are so 90s. Girls now
Yes.
dream about owning dumpsters.
I mean, sneakily, I have become. I consider myself predominantly a dumpster company. Our dumpsters have portable toilets attached to it. And I've now started also getting standalone toilets. So sneakily, I've become somebody who owns like 230 portable toilets. So I am a portable toilet.
So what you're saying is
But-
you're the girl to call if I need one of those.
Yes.
But like that's another thing is like then you just don't rent them out for like because when you think of dumpsters, my mind automatically goes to construction.
Yeah.
But like say if I'm having like an outdoor party, I could call you and be like, hey, I need this amount of porta potties.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah, and we don't do a lot of. We really only do the standalone toilets if it's like I'm gonna have this here for years. Like that's the extent that we do the toilets.
Okay.
And our dumpsters we're pretty much like 95% of my work is with contractors, which I love because it's just repeatable business over and over. Like, so for me, when I looked at dumpsters, I was like, this is a recurring revenue model. It's a high ticket item. Getting rid of trash is super freaking expensive. And, I'm not going into people's homes. I'm not like dealing with some of this. Now, then we started Velvet Full, which is, we do a lot of dealing with homeowners. It's kind of like the opposite side.
Well, backtrack. So what business models didn't make the cut?
I narrowed. I cut a lot out. I can't even probably salons.
Food's out, I'm assuming.
Food is
Yeah.
definitely out. Food is it wasn't even
Yeah.
ever in for me. A lot of people do it.
Yeah.
Good for them. For me, it was never in. I was looking at, this was right before COVID. I was looking at like a boutique fitness, and thank goodness I didn't do any of that. I almost bought a flooring business, which I would have liked. It was going to be in Florida, and it was literally we were getting on a plane to go close that deal when COVID, it was that Thursday where it was like everything shut down, and we didn't get on the plane.
Knock you off on the correct path you're supposed to be on, right?
Isn't it
Just
wild?
don't you feel like
I
you're
know.
where you're supposed to be?
It's crazy.
That's nuts.
It really is.
I love
nuts.
stories like that though.
And so then I was like back to the drawing table, and so those are the ones that didn't make the cut though. But I'm very happy that I went with the dumpsters. But it's a very it's a really demanding industry. Like it's really like some of the stories I could share, even just about some of the drivers that I've hired. And I mean, I've hired drivers that have been, felons, that I'm working with, and I've really built some phenomenal relationships with some of these people, but it's just, you got to be ready for things in the trash industry. So, yeah.
What's something common that that somebody looking at it from the outside wouldn't think of with dealing with that?
Specific to people.
People and you.
To deal, the challenges. Well, you know what? Trash is. It has the reputation, right, of the mafia and the.
You said it first.
Dark workings, like it does, and there's still a lot. Like there is not that there's a lot of that anymore. A lot of that's, but I found myself trying to break in. Like there are these relationships, like a lot of my competitors, it's like, oh, well, they've been in trash for 30 years and they started this company and they own transfer stations, which are disposal sites, so they own where the trash goes. Yeah, so it's been, and it really just takes a lot of guts to keep growing and putting the money into it, because it is, every time you buy a truck and dumpsters, it's, I mean, a whole nother mortgage, you know,
Yeah.
to buy a truck and the dumpsters that come with it. And so, you just have to keep, like, you really have to keep your head about you and, like, have confidence in what you're doing to keep putting the money in and progressing. Yeah.
So
What-
are you just are you just profit that you're making? Are you, for the most part, reinvesting that right back into the company?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I didn't take a salary for as long as I could. But we had young children.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
childcare.
Yeah.
So at some point you have to. But yeah, it's really just continuing to grow. So I try to grow, you know, another 2 trucks and 50, 60 dumpsters a year
Okay.
is kind of the path I've been on. But yeah,
And
it's
that's been
exciting to see more
consistent
people.
since you started? Like, every year you're getting, like, 2 new trucks? And because I feel like that's
Yeah.
like a pretty good...
I mean, I went from 1 to 5 in like a year and a half, so I went really quickly at the beginning.
But because you were needing it, right?
Yeah,
For
needing
demand?
it, but also so the Redbox, remember, is a franchise. So the Redbox in Lancaster was going out of business, and I ended up buying his 2 trucks and his 80 dumpsters, and I did that. My gosh, we closed on that when I was 6 months pregnant or something
Oh, wow.
with my 4th. And the whole thinking behind that was like, right, I'm about to have a baby and be totally like needing to do other things.
Yeah.
And so a lot of it's like you have to grow your business to a certain point where you can afford overhead in your business. And I knew that, like, I knew that very instinctually at the beginning of my business. And that's why, like, the growth, like, I tried to grow really quickly at the beginning, so that I could have an operations manager and somebody in my office answering phone calls and doing all of that. So, yeah.
So how do you manage 4 children, 2 businesses, especially one that I think is starting up?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How do you manage all of that? Like, what do you have a stellar routine? Do you give us your day-to-day routine?
Yeah, I have none of that. I'm not a routine person. I think a lot of entrepreneurs are like not routine people. Like I hate routine. So
That's interesting because you have such a methodical and scalable business.
Yeah.
Let's peel back the layers on this one a little bit.
I just variety, like, so my office people that are answering the phone calls and entering the orders, like, I swear I cannot do that job. I have the hardest time when I have to fill in because it's I really struggle with it. And then my mind goes, wait, let me try to do this. Let me try to, and it's just, I've always been this way. I feel like it's good. My husband says I'm a very chaotic person. And I used to think of that as like kind of a negative thing of mine. And I've since learned to embrace it. And like, this is what allows me to be like, yeah, let's do this. Let's buy more dumpsters. Let's keep moving forward. So yeah, my routine is, look, this is when we decided to start this business. It was like, my husband and I looked at each other. We said, our life is going to be hard no matter what. We have 3 kids, 0, 1, and 2. Like, life is hard for the foreseeable future. So
Let's make it harder.
well, it's like what I mean, like, to some extent, we're like, oh, this is hard anyway. So just let's, kind of.
It's not going to get less hard.
Like it's not like we're going from easy to hard. It's like we're going from hard to
Harder.
and that feels easy. It feels more tolerable.
It feels easy to
But-
go to harder.
No, but working for yourself, it's just given me that flexibility. I'm like so present with my kids and able to do stuff with them that, to me, like when my husband and I talk about stuff, I'm like, that makes me feel successful, like in this crazy headspace of this capital intensive business, like where we're not pulling a lot of money out of the business. I can at least look at it and feel like I've hit success because I'm with my kids. I'm there. I'm seeing them off to the bus. When they come home, I'm around. Like, I'm going to all their school stuff. I'm just so present with them, which is really cool.
I think that really comes down to defining what the parameters are of success and what winning looks like for you in your individual circumstance.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a billionaire, but I'm hearing this over and over again from you, other guests we've had on, is just like more time for what matters.
Time and presence,
Time and presence.
of the people that are immediate in your life. That's
Yeah.
the theme.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, of course, my goal is to continue to grow this business and make it very profitable and, pay for my kids' colleges out of it and do all of that, But yeah, I just feel really blessed that I have had this time with my kids.
Now, did you work as an engineer at all prior?
Not really, like, I worked in construction as an
And
engineer.
then, like, what
but
kind of engineering was it? Like structural?
Yeah,
Okay.
structural is, yeah. So I worked on, like, highways, bridges, light rail projects, that kind of stuff, yeah. And then I went and I got my MBA full-time because I needed to get out of construction. It's a very demanding industry. Talk about the opposite of work-life balance, so, yeah. That's
Right.
what I did, yeah.
I always find it interesting when I find people with these like amazing degrees and I'm like, oh my God, like, but then I feel like a majority of people that end up having these amazing degrees that I guess maybe thought at one point they were going into corporate actually end up using it completely different and for themselves.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like you're like wasting like the degree because you're not technically an engineer? I'm degreeless. I went to college, but degreeless. So I always feel like, God forbid something happened. I'm like, I have nothing. I feel like I have nothing to fall back on.
Yeah.
And it always makes me worried that, like, God forbid, I would need something else.
Yeah.
I'd be stuck at.
It's an interesting
Risk of that.
debate. Like, how much does your, like where you went to college, what you studied, right? How much does it matter? Especially
Yeah.
right now, right? There's a lot of conversation around, does it make sense to go to college? Does it not? Like my parents, I was raised, my parents both didn't come from a lot, but they both ended up becoming lawyers who just really valued education, like crazy
Yeah.
valued it. And so how I feel right now with my education, no, I never feel like I'm wasting my mom's always like, you should get your law degree now, or do something else. But I never feel like I'm wasting it, but I do feel like it is a really nice safety net to have and to know that I can fall back on that kind of stuff, and it also, it just, I don't know, it gives me like a core confidence to myself. Like I'm dealing with these for example, I'm dealing with these, the truck parts and these drivers and my operations manager, the mechanics, they all know way more about trucks and motors and engines than I do. But I love that I can go in and like pull up the schematic on this and like I can actually think it through, even though I don't know much about it.
The engineering mind.
So, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part's nice.
They all think the same. My husband's an engineer.
Okay,
I feel like
yeah.
even all of his friends, like, they're just similar.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
The engineer.
There's some shared traits. Yeah.
Yeah, still the thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, on this education, your family was really into education. Now that you're like an entrepreneur, what is your goal for your kids? Like if one of your kids came through high school and they're like, listen, Mom, I just want to jump right into the business with you. Would you be like, gotta at least do community or something? What would your response be?
Yeah, my kids are still fairly young, so I
Yeah.
haven't like given it a crazy amount of thought. But the one thing I've learned about kids is that they are so different. So like my children are all so different, and I think their paths will be different in the
Yeah.
future. So I think like I can think of one of my children. If he told me he didn't want to go to college, I'd be like, "You're going to college," because he just has an incredible mind for things that. But some other children, I'd be like, "Yeah, go do like." I have one that's like, he's going to be the most phenomenal salesperson. And like, you want to get into business, go do it. Because that's probably the better path for you right now, So, yeah.
Yeah, I think I was just part of the culture of like, go to college.
Yes.
Get a job.
Yeah.
But like no one in my family went to college besides me. Like my dad was in the union. I don't think he really understood like, I didn't understand student loans until like I had to start paying them. I didn't understand interest rates. I didn't understand any of that.
That was
And
by design.
if I would have known, like I feel like my dad was like saying it, but if I would have known, I think I would have like done things a little different. Like I don't need to be going to a private Catholic college. Why? And spend $40,000 a year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people.
You know what I
it
mean?
doesn't make
It's
sense.
just-
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So you got your act together. You got your shit together. Everything's awesome. There's got to be some bumps in the road,
Yeah.
right? You got stories. Let's break one down. How you got through it? We want to inspire some people.
Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah. So I am a little thing, and then I'll jump in a little like preaching, if you will, if you want to inspire people. Like I tell my kids, like the trait I want most in my children to have is resilience. Like pretty much more, like definitively, actually more than anything else. I just want resilience in them. And yeah, I certainly have some stories, I guess, that have built resilience in me. But like, I mean, one of the things, one story I can think of, and I kind of repeat this one a lot, but when I first started my business, I was out selling dumpsters before I had them, because once they came, I wanted to deliver it that day, and the whole thing. So people are asking, you're pretending like you have them and you don't even have them. But so I sold about a month into once my truck came in and stuff, we were up at the landfill, and my driver ran over a box spring, and it ate up the entire inside of the truck. It was stuck on the top of the landfill I was up there for like 6 hours with the truck.
Oh.
And it was my first experience with the landfill. And the one here is the largest, certainly in the eastern US, but I think in all of the US. And the birds are pooping on your head, and you're like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? And now I have all these customers who, I have dumpsters out there. They want them picked up. I have dumpsters I'm supposed to drop off tomorrow. I don't have a truck. I mean, the truck was down for a month. I had one truck at the time, and I figured it out. The next day I took my driver. We drove down to 5 hours down to Easton, Maryland or something, picked up a rental truck, and we figured it out. But I remember coming home that night and laying on my couch and crying, because I'm like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? This is crazy. The thing that taught me, and I'll always go back to that, is like when I have those moments of like, oh, it's 1 p.m. and I'm going to go to my kid's school function or whatever. Like, I don't feel guilty about any of that. Because of like I have had so many hard times with my business, people quitting, having to fire people. It's like it's been so many that I'm like, okay, this is, you know what I mean? Like
So a bit of anchoring and framing, like
yeah,
nothing XYZ is ever going to be as bad as that day one was.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I can do hard things.
It's like one of those things is as you start growing, maybe some of these things are happening more frequently and you've already figured it out and now it means nothing. Like, I feel like as you grow, more issues are just bound to come.
Yeah.
It sounds like you handle things pretty well.
My driver was just in an accident yesterday on the turnpike. And I haven't had many accidents, knock on wood. So this was like, and everything was okay. Everybody was fine. But I was out on the side of the highway with the state trooper, and it was like, you have to really learn just to be like, okay, we're going to figure this out. At the end of the day, it's just.
And people don't want to do that. They want to give up. You could have not did the drive and just whatever, lost business or whatever. You could have not gone in and just threw your hands in the air.
Yeah.
So that's what resilience is.
Yeah.
You didn't do that.
Yeah. But a lot of crazy situations, I mean, most of my stuff is HR related stuff, where it's like you learn that your driver's bringing a gun to work, and it's like, crap, well, what's my policy? What's my HR policy say? And now,
policy on
what's even legal to do?
Oh my God, crossing state to state.
Right?
Now I'm worried.
Oh yeah, like going over to Jersey.
Like quickly pulling this together. Okay, now I have this policy. Or like I didn't have all the things that you don't start with an attendance policy. And then the drivers are having attendance issues.
Somebody abuses something.
Now here's my attendance. So it's just creating so much from scratch. But you're right. Once it's there, then you're like. Cool. Now I can just keep growing on this, which feels really nice.
So does Velvet Fold now have a gun policy and attendance policy going into this from this learning?
I know. Velvet Fold is like so near and dear to my heart because it's so different than my Redbox Plus dumpsters. And it feels like Like, I'm in this world of trucks and dumpsters and dirt and trash. And then when I committed to learning laundry, because I never folded my laundry.
I don't.
Right? Like,
I would have a laundry basket.
right. It's like, but when I sat down and like watched the videos with the Marie Kondo method of folding, and I'm folding it, and I'm like, oh, this actually feels so calm and nice and clean, and like, it's just such the opposite of the trash, you know. And I'm like, I like this. You get to feel, you know, clean
Cozy,
and fresh.
yeah.
And
Like
cozy
when
and-
you leave Redbox, you're like, I'm dirty. I'm gonna get cleaned up now.
Yeah.
She's like collecting everyone's laundry at the job site.
It's so it's nice, yeah. So I've really enjoyed starting something different. I'm doing it with a good friend of mine. I met her through babysitting my children, and she's become just such a good friend. I trust her so much, and she's remarkable and is going to do the most amazing things. And
And this is based in Yardley?
yeah,
Yardley, PA?
yeah,
Okay.
Yardley.
I think I
Newtown,
need to connect you with the hockey community, because some of them, they've got some stank.
Yes.
Like, I wash my stuff religiously. I play all the time. But man, some of my teammates, you know who you are. Like, I think we may need to have some sort of shuttle service. We're gonna workshop this.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can empathize with yeah, definitely. So, yeah, we've done that, and she's really the cool thing about that. I never wanted to partner with anybody like for Redbox. People often say, like, you know, to get capital to keep growing. Like, I've considered, right? I've like long looked into like, well, do you want to partner with someone? And it's every time I come back, she's like, no, I don't want to get into business with anybody. In this case, it was like a no-brainer for me, and she's really running it, which is really cool. You know, like, my contribution at this point is like, I own a business. I know all these things. I
Right.
learned all these things, right? And
So
I have this
you're like
confidence to
part
do
angel
that.
investor, part like mentor,
Mentor.
and operations. Really,
Yeah,
you bring a
yeah.
lot to the table.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like she does it all, but yeah.
Yeah, but she's not going to make the mistakes
the
that you made,
experience matters. Yeah,
and
yeah,
she'll make her own.
yeah.
You'll make some more. I'll make some more. We'll all make some more. But we're never going to make the mistakes as long as we keep keeping this table open
Yeah.
that we made 5 years ago.
Yeah,
that's
right.
that's part of my passion.
Yeah.
Is about all that.
Yeah, yeah.
Fix the low level stuff and let's solve some bigger
Yeah,
stuff.
but the laundry is way harder with marketing. So in my dumpster business, I for the past 2 years, whatever, I put $0 into marketing. Like, I don't even pay for SEO maintenance. I don't, because for me, that business is a sales business. Like, I'm going to meet contractors and I'm going to get your trust and I'm going to do it that way, right? I'm going to knock on your door. I'm going to call you. Getting a laundry business, I'm like, oh my God, how do we get customers? Like, I guess we put a Facebook ad out, like, and then you see the charges, you know, regularly for the Facebook ads, and you're like, is this worth it? I don't know. So, right, that feels very
Easy. Find more people like me because I pay stupid money for convenience.
Yeah.
I cheap out on a lot of stuff. When it comes to saving me time, I'm in.
Yeah.
I hate hassles.
Yeah, a
And
lot of
folding
people
laundry
do.
is a hassle for me.
Yeah. And but I know this is a shameless plug a little bit.
No, that's what.
But we
please, yeah,
we fold the laundry in a way. I don't know. Are you familiar with Marie Kondo? She was super popular. I feel like we're similar.
She's
Is
the
this
spark
the-
joy.
is this
Spark
the-
joy.
Is this the lady
Yeah.
who come out with Natalie?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but she has this method of folding clothes so they all stand straight up, and you put them in your drawers like this. And Ketty, who works with me, we were saying, like, oh my gosh, now that we've changed our drawers like this, it's actually life changing. Like, you just see everything. But to fold it yourself this way takes forever, right?
Yes.
So, like, it's super hard to maintain yourself because it takes so much longer. But when you have it, like, when I have to get dressed in the morning, instead of throwing everything all over my closet floor, it's like so nice. You just pull your little bin and pick out your one thing, you know, and it's like so great. So it is life changing.
Systems are good for the chaotic person.
Yes,
they
yeah.
really are.
There
yeah.
you go. Yeah.
So that way you can leverage that chaotic energy for the good in
Yeah.
production. Love it.
Yeah.
I like leveraging chaos. I like that you because I feel like Dan always says this to me. What do I say something about me being very sensitive, and he's like, well, if you can leverage it. And I like that
Leverage
you
is my
had said
favorite
that you
word
were
in this
chaotic, and which could be a negative thing, but you're like, no, I'm actually
Yeah.
leveraging my chaos into something amazing.
Just to the point where I actually like wrote it down. I forget at this point what the sentence was, but I wrote it down and like put it up on my wall because I really worked hard to shift that in my head,
Yeah.
like the mindset. that like, no, this is actually a superpower. And sometimes it doesn't come off that way, you know, but it actually is. So, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me
That's
like
it.
that?
We just literally wrapped up at 30 minutes on the dot. We never do that.
Look at
Oh,
that.
we're 30 minutes on the dot?
That's it.
Well, can't we, like, thank her and stuff for coming and...
Yeah. I just love that.
Dan's always like this. Cut it. We're done.
Well, usually we have to, but for some reason this just this ended on such a positive
little
note.
bow, right?
Leveraging chaos for positivity.
I
And
like it.
How do we end every episode, Jessica?
Oh, shit. I forgot. I almost forgot. Oh.
We gotta do
I like
We
race.
gotta kick the
Oh, I
camera.
saw
Yeah.
this. Oh gosh, how do I get my foot?
There it is. Wow.
I actually
Okay.
want to do this.
And we're good.
Stretch, right?
You're doing your best, and some days it's a mess, but you're showing up still, so we're very impressed. Feeling the pressure, yeah, we relate. It's okay to not be okay. Minding our business, let's talk it out. Jess and Jonesy know what it's all about. From burnouts and doubts to boundaries that stick.